Bulls absolutely slurping up the dip yesterday big time with ease. Are the baby bears in jeopardy of getting their shorts completely and utterly liquidated? As the DXY continues collapsing along with a bank, every single drop that the poor boneless bears get has been quickly bought up. But is this actually just one giant bull trap? Or is it in fact the biggest bear trap since the beginning of mankind? Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin did receive quite a large even, you could say, dumpulation, going from about 69,000 US dollars, nice, to about 59,000 US dollars in a very, very quick wick. However, ultimately then settling around 62 to 63,000 just minutes after, basically almost immediately, and since then has actually rebounded a little bit. But we have some other massive things, massive news happening, and other very big things. And also we're going to talk about the question, is Bitcoin actually about to bust once again? So if you like busting in the morning, evening, nighttime, pretty much whenever and literally wherever, hit that like, hit that subscribe, get signed up to Femex below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without any further ado, let's absolutely take a sneak peek at what is happening on these charts. So this is Bitcoin's 7-day chart. If we go to the daily chart for Bitcoin, you can see that we had a pretty nice dumpulation yesterday, going from about 69 to 59. Nice. And so far today, we saw a massive wick on yesterday's candle as well. A massive hammer candle, massive wick. But currently, Bitcoin's actually, basically, at least as I'm recording, it's pretty much right underneath those all-time highs again. And as we talked about yesterday, right, the last time that Bitcoin was exiting a bear market and tried to put in new all-time highs back in 2020, it took about 4 weeks to do that. And as I said yesterday, I don't think it's going to take us 4 weeks this time. I think Bitcoin is going to blast through 69,000 US dollars. Nice. Per Bitcoin, much quicker than about 4 weeks from now. Because if where we are right now was more similar to that, then it would take about 4 weeks. And I think that's a little too bearish. And I think if you think that, you're simply not bullish enough, clearly. But I want to look at the Bitcoin charts more. But honestly, there's some very big things happening. So first off, I want to say TechDev, who's just incredibly, he's one of my favorite people on Twitter, and he's been for a long time. He rarely tweets, but when he does, or sorry, X, whatever, Twitter, when he zeets or tweets, whatever we call it, I guess, it tends to be very valuable. And so I like that. He very rarely posts things, but when he does, it seems to be very interesting things. So this chart right here is a 2-month chart, and the logarithmic Bollinger Band width indicator right here, basically, I mean, look at this chart. I think you can deduce potentially what I'm getting at right here and what he's getting at here. The third Bitcoin 2-month expansion, take the chart for what you will. But also, we saw New York Community Bancorp halted for pending news today, down over 40% in a day. In a day, we're not talking about, a meme coin. We're not talking about, some doggy coin. This is a bank down 40%, trading halted, because it would probably go to zero if they didn't halt it, right? They got to save the banks. They got to save the banker boys. And yeah, I mean, is this similar to basically exactly 1 year ago, back in March of 2023, when we saw the whole banking crisis, right? Is this a continuation of that? I absolutely, as I've been saying, anytime I've been asked about this topic since then, I don't think banks are doing any better than they were last year. I mean, I think they're trying to prop up these Ponzi schemes, banks, as long as possible. But that's a very interesting development. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But also, keep in mind, a bull run does not mean it's calm seas. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. This chart just shows drawdowns from 30-day highs. And yeah, I mean, even in bull markets, we get dumps. And was yesterday a 6-hour bear market as we crashed and then basically immediately bounced back up? As I've been also talking about, the true impact of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, this new dynamic, was that another taste of what's going to happen? Because we've only seen the Bitcoin spot ETFs have only been trading for about 2 months. And one question that myself and pretty much anyone I'm sure has is like, will these ETFs make it so that when Bitcoin crashes, it doesn't crash very hard, or at least as long, and it immediately gets bought back up? Will we still get 20% dips a couple times on this run up, or will we simply have too much buying pressure? Well, again, we're only 2 months into these Bitcoin spot ETFs, so we don't have a clear answer yet. It's still way too early to make any judgment. We don't know if it's actually going to be really bullish or really bearish, but again, early signs, at least what's showing yesterday, is that, hey, this buying pressure is pretty insane, pretty nuts. We're also seeing the Arizona State Senate considering adding Bitcoin ETFs to its state retirement portfolios. The only thing I have to say about this is that prepare for many more things like this. Prepare for many more things like this. Now, this is actually maybe one of the most important parts of the video. It's just a topic, but basically, did you know that if you miss Bitcoin's best 10 days, you basically miss all of its gains annually? So what does that mean? It means that in a very, very, very short amount of time, the biggest moves happen. And basically, if you miss that tiny window, literally, according to this post, 10 days, if you miss those 10 days, right, give or take a couple days or two, whatever, you miss out on maximum opportunity. So that's why it really is important to stay in the market, not lose your conviction, to stay dedicated, because nothing could happen for months. Literally nothing could happen for months. And just like that, in a 1 or 2 week period, everything happens. And then all the hype starts and people think, oh, that's going to keep happening. And then next thing you know, you missed the massive run up. And I don't think we've seen the massive run up at all yet, right? This is still the prelude to the bust. Still the pre-bust. Now, I also have been talking about this, just an S-curve. It's something I've been hearing in the crypto space for years now, but Fred Krueger points out that the adoption of Bitcoin will probably follow an S-curve, right? I've heard this a million times, I agree. But what he's saying basically here is he believes that this year, or within the period from now to 2030, he believes that this is going to increase massively. And the S-curve basically means, let's say we're right about here, the growth starts going parabolic for potentially years and years, after which it kind of dies down. And that's basically an S-curve, without really spending any more time talking about it, without getting any more detail. Very simply, it's very possible, if we are following some sort of S-curve with the adoption of the Bitcoin technology, we could see this thing absolutely, all the growth we've seen so far. What if it was only just this little squeak on the chart? And the real growth, everything that has to come next, is this. It's not out of the ordinary it's not out of the question to think that that is a possibility here. Also, altcoin charts are looking absolutely ridiculous right now, and you're selling your coins for a 20% pump, basically meaning this is a very similar setup to we see before we see altcoins start exploding. Basically death. You see this right here, multiple years of death, and then the tiniest hint of life, and some of these altcoins recoup all of their losses, even down 80-90%, and then go on to hit even new all-time highs, many of them. Absolutely not all of them. I'm not saying that at all. But many of these top altcoins specifically, I think, are prime opportunity right now. We're also seeing, just quickly, I want to highlight that another very strong volume day for ETFs. What else is new? We're seeing this every day. Over 1 billion already. BlackRock accumulating almost 200,000 Bitcoin in just the first 2 months. Look, insane. I think it was I thought it was about 700 million, but maybe around 650 million of inflows yesterday, the third biggest day since launch. We just see these records being broken day in, day out. ETFs taking in over 3 billion in just the last 7 trading days. Look at this chart. This is a chart that if you would have shown someone before the Bitcoin ETF, they would have said, no, that's too bullish. Well, it's happening. Okay. This is reality. Stay in reality. That's what's happening. And we're also seeing that BlackRock spot ETF actually, yes, took in 788 million on a day where people were panicking. I was getting those comments. Believe it or not, I got those comments that I was talking about yesterday. The people saying, no, top is in. This is, I longed, or I'm shorting right here, right? A couple comments like that. People getting very confident that Bitcoin's going to immediately start crashing again, right? Well, let's take a look at the actual chart of Bitcoin right now. Weekly chart. If Bitcoin would close where it's at right now, in a couple of days, it would be the highest weekly candle close for Bitcoin in history. It basically just has to close above 65,000 and change. Maybe 65,500 is where that would be. Let me actually just put let me just get the exact number right here. basically it'd be kind of like right there. So anywhere above, yeah, about 65,000 was the high weekly close. Very bullish. We're about 4 days away, so there's still plenty of time left. Maybe this candle gets rejected. Maybe we get a few weeks of dumpiness, or maybe we just blast right through it. Maybe we go to 75, maybe we go to 80,000 because these ETF inflows are too strong. And this chart again just shows this white line is exactly where that previous top was. And that so far is where we've gotten a rejection. We're on day 2 now after touching on all-time highs. So keep in mind, this could take a couple of weeks, or by the time I upload this video, or by tomorrow when we're waking up, we could be past all-time highs like that. And I would not bet against that right now. There are people that are trying to short Bitcoin at the exact top. If you look at the history of Bitcoin, when it comes up to an all-time high, that is literally what people do, is they try to short Bitcoin as it goes up to the all-time high. For example, we can go through this chart real quick. Right about here, back to 2011. So in the 2013 market, you can see the top was around a little over 1,000. Look at this. A couple of weeks where we got a pretty big correction all the way back in 2017, right? People were trying to short this. Same thing here. This was the high in 2017. People trying to short this in 2020. It took a couple of weeks. We talked about that yesterday. It took a couple of weeks to actually get above this. Here we are yet again. All-time high right about here. People don't learn. They're absolutely going to try and short this. But all I'm saying is if you go back in history and you look at what happened every time people try to do that, people shorting that got creamed, absolutely banged, giga-banged, absolutely creamed and giga-banged big time. So, hey, anything could happen. Could we go to zero? Sure. And also, pigs could start creating chocolate. They could start walking around on 2 legs and speaking English and, doing other things that pigs will clearly never do. Okay, so no, that's not going to happen, but technically anything is still possible. But just get your head out of your butt if you actually think that's realistic. Daily chart for Bitcoin. I think it's really interesting. Last time we came right down to this 21-day moving average was back at the very end of February. It pulled us back right about to 50K. We got to touch out 50K, almost down to the 21-day moving average, immediately busted up to about 64K. And actually, with this crash yesterday, literally, if you had a short position open for more than like an hour, then, you pretty much had to close your short within an hour. It was very quick. With this crash, we got down to about 59, barely. I literally walked away for a second, and I was looking at the charts, came back, and we were still above 60. And then somebody pointed out, oh, we actually went to 59, and I was staring at the chart, and I somehow missed it. So I assume it happened like that because I actually didn't catch 59K, even though I was watching it when we were at like 61. Point is, it was very, very quick. The $56,000 to $57,000 level would have been touching on this 21-day, which we didn't get down to. So, very interesting. There's no real confirmation that we're entering, though, a sustained breakout until we concretely get above 69,000. Keep in mind, when we touched on 69,000 yesterday, nice. It was basically immediately rejected, which is a good sign in the sense that, yes, people were awaiting that, and it's not like we got up to 69.5 and then got rejected. Because my opinion, and most people's opinion, I believe, is that when we actually break all-time highs, when we actually concretely get a couple $100 above and really start actually breaking those all-time highs, it's going to just start exploding. So the fact that we literally got to 69 and immediately got rejected, that was it was a test. We did not, in a sense, yes, we broke the all-time highs, but in another sense, if you kind of, follow price action and technical analysis, you really want to see a strong move above that and really have some of those positions liquidated or those limit orders filled so that we can push above it. And on the first pass yesterday, we didn't do that. And that's absolutely normal. As I said, it takes 4 weeks, or it can take weeks. Historically, that's how long it's taken. And the stock market actually doing a little better today, but ultimately also the DXY is starting to break down here. And this is something, the DXY right here, we can zoom in a little bit, is breaking down. And I remember if we go back and we can zoom out to, we were tracking this all of 2022, a lot of people were saying, no, this is going to become a big giant bust. And no, we were absolutely right. The DXY did absolutely start. I still have these on my chart from back in 2022 as we were tracking it. I just haven't touched this chart really since then. And here we are. We're breaking down again on the DXY, which historically signals strength to risk on assets, or at least to Bitcoin, and the stock market is usually inversely correlated with the DXY. So with that being said, honestly, today I think it'll just be interesting to watch to see where Bitcoin closes, if we're going to actually close above this all-time high, or if we're going to at least get a candle above 66,000 US dollars. And ultimately, basically, I'm interested as well to see the inflows for today, which we already know they're insanely big inflows, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. And get signed up to Femex below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without further ado,